Hey everyone, welcome to Poetry Lesson 5. And in Lesson 5, we are going to kind of do a little bit of a continuation of Lesson 4, which was writing those big feelings poems and finding an item or an event that had big feelings for you that you want to get down into a poem. So let's start out by thinking about what we've talked about, finding ingredients for a poem. You guys have been looking at ordinary things in a new way. For example, again, remember like the sharpener and how the noise is a buzz, buzz, buzz when you're sharpening your pencil. And instead of just thinking of the piece of metal in there that's sharpening it, you could look at it a new way and think, oh, there's 1,000 bees in there. So that's looking at an ordinary thing in a new way. Or when we talked about the poem about the desk, instead of it just being a desk, it was something that held you up all day and supported you. So you're taking an ordinary item and looking at it differently. After that, we looked at putting music and rhythm and a beat to a song and using that to maybe do a little bit more of the rhyming portion of poetry or the repetition where we repeated a word. But we tried that out. And now yesterday, or Friday technically, we did the big, strong feelings. This was the one where we had the poem about the beach and the poem that was my favorite about the roller coaster ride, where they took an event and put it into feelings and what they noticed about the birds and how I want to stay here forever. And so today we're going to go a little deeper into that big, strong feelings one. And at the end, you're going to have two options. You can either take the poem you've already did for the big feelings, big, strong feelings, and revise it, make it better, or you can write a new one. So you're going to have those two choices today. All right, so let's first go to this next screen. Hold on, it's coming. But I want you to stop and think. Even pause me right now if you want to, and think of an idea or a small moment, okay? Does it give you strong feeling? Have I found a small moment or even an object that holds that feeling? I remember I had a student one year write a poem about a penny. And at first I thought she was just going to tell me about the penny. You know, what it looks like, the president who's on it, maybe that she found it in the street. But I got a surprise because she wrote about this penny as an object that had held very important meaning to her. She had not seen her father in 5 years. And when he left, he had given her that penny when she was just like 4 or 5 years old. And for some reason, she held on to it, and it made her think of her dad. And so her whole poem was this strong emotion about missing her dad and how when she looked at the penny, she thought of him and how the penny held a very important place in her bedroom. And she had put it on a board with some glue so that she could stick it to the wall. I wish I could pull that poem up right now because she definitely took a very ordinary item, a penny, and it had such important big meaning for her. She was able to write this beautiful, beautiful poem. Do you have something like that? Do you have an event like that? A time you baked cookies with grandma? Anything. I want you to stop, pause me, and think of that big moment. But like I said, you can write a new poem today or you can revise your old one. But here's some examples. And actually, this is one of my students that had done something very similar right here. She had this special mug. Special mug brings back many memories. My grandma, what she does for me. It makes me jump for excitement. Love my mug. It loves me. My memories. You, my mug. Yes, I thank you. So what was her special object? This mug. But it wasn't just because of the mug. That was that first day when we were like, oh, I'm so in love with my mug or with my desk. This is different. This mug held a special memory because it made her think of her grandma. And she doesn't really say here, but maybe grandma gave it to her. Maybe her and grandma made it together at a pottery class. She could have added a little bit more there and told us that, but she didn't. And that's okay. You don't have to. But she took an item and had that emotion with it. Okay, let's look at another one. This one's about roses. Okay, not very long. Roses sitting in a vase, red, pink, and orange. Smells so fragrant, looks so beautiful, feels like velvet, feels like love, so thoughtful. My hubby, love. I don't think I wrote this one. I'm pretty sure I got this out of a book, but it's taking roses and giving them a more of an important part. This person who wrote it, I was probably looking at them on the desk and just started to talk about them. And notice it's not necessarily a repetition of a word, but it's repetition of a one-word line. Did you see that? Red, pink, and orange, and then smells, so fragrant, looks so beautiful, feels like velvet, feels like love. Do you see that pattern there? Yeah, that's a little bit of something we learned back from the rhythm and the music, and it's okay to throw them into your poems. But you can do whatever you want with your poetry. It can rhyme, it can not rhyme, it can have rhythm, it can not have rhythm, whatever you want. But today, I want you to either revise your Big Feelings poem that you did either yesterday, Friday, and make it better, add some more feeling, add some more emotion, or start a brand new one, thinking of a brand new item, like a mug or a penny, like I told you about the girl who wrote about a penny, or some roses that maybe somebody gave you. Pick an item and make it with big feeling, though. Don't just tell me about the roses. That's not what I want. I don't want a poem that tells me about the roses today. I want it to have a reason. And in this one here, her husband had given them to her, and the roses represented love. The mug, her grandma had something to do with the mug, and that represented love for her too. So both of these are about love, but you don't have to have just the emotion of love. Remember, the roller coaster poem was about fear and being scared of that ride. All right, guys, I want you to have fun with this. And you're going to be given the link to, let me show it to you, your poetry packet, which goes to our lesson 5, which is today. It is the last page, and it is entitled Lesson 5, Finding Ingredients for a Poem, Your Big Feelings Poem version 2. Again, it doesn't have to be version 2 of the last one, but it can be if you want. All right, guys, have fun with it. See you next time.